Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world today. We're starting our Final Fantasy XIV stream today. We're resuming our crafting quests here for Stormblood. We finished 63 through 65 yesterday, and we'll be working on 68 and the 70s today. So thanks for dropping in with us. I hope you're having a great morning, afternoon, or evening. Drop us a note down in the comments if you would, and let us know how you're doing, or if there's anything you want to talk about. Anything that's on your mind, that's fine. But we'll go ahead and get started with these crafts because they're going to take a while here to get through them. Get ourselves going here. Here we go. And we are not getting any body pieces here, so we are just getting a new tool, it looks like. And there you are. Since we last met, I've been given a lot of thought as to how we might assist Sekka in winning her father's approval, and there's one thing that strikes me as strange. While she is by no means a first-rate artisan, she's also not nearly so bad a smithy as her old man would have us believe. So why is he trying so hard to convince us she'll never amount to anything? Me intuition tells me he's hiding something, and it's up to you to find out what. I saw him wandering through West Hawker's Alley earlier. With any luck, he should still be there. Well, let's do some investigation then. See what we can find. Hey, Shinto, there you are. You want to know what will convince me of Sekka's potential as a swordsmith? You are an odd one. To be so gifted and yet so humble as to treat a mediocre craftsman like my daughter as an equal. To answer your question, nothing will persuade me to take her on as an apprentice. What she lacks is something far more fundamental than skill. While I am certain Master Brithale sent you here with hopes of learning more than what I just told you, that is all I'm willing to say on the subject. Okay. So, it is as I suspected then. It's not the girl's skills Shinto doesn't approve of. His secretiveness is quite curious though, isn't it? Were it that he didn't care for his daughter, he'd have no qualms about divulging the whole truth. Mayhap his distant demeanor is but a mask. That, however, is a discussion for another day. Now, I've been observing how Sekka works for a while now to learn how we might help her improve. From what I've seen, she's got a great deal of talent, but her clunky tools prevent her from displaying the full extent of her skill. I believe that her hampered dexterity is the missing fundamental to which Shinto refers. It should be an easy thing to fix. All we need to do is provide her with a new set of svelte tools. That said, forging custom-made implements ain't easy, and there are only two people I'd trust to do the job right. Well, Anne, what do you say? You make her a nice hammer and I'll take care of the rest. Randwolf should be able to supply you with what you need. You can find him where he normally is, over at reception. Alright, Randolph. The two of you are making a new set of tools for the girl. So, the old bugger does have a chivalrous streak in him. Alright, this should be all that you need, but feel free to come back if it's not enough. Alright, let's see if we can knock out this this little bad boy here. Custom-made hammer. Yeah, that's dangerous first thing in the morning. Doing it without trying to test first. Let's see. That could be interesting. Let's see what happens here. Oh, good. That worked okay. Worked okay. Didn't go too far. Awesome. Let's see it then. Here's a custom-made hammer. You've outdone yourself yet again, Anne. Mayhap I'll have to ask you to forge me a new hammer once all this has been resolved. Between the two of us, we should now have a complete set of tools. I'll let you have the honor of giving them to the girl. If she's not down in the workshop, you should be able to find her at the anchor yard. All right, well, of course she's at the anchor yard. Oh, I can go down this way. Hangs out down at the ass end of nowhere. And I am pathetic. I do not deserve to be called a smith. Forge Master Brithale invested so much time and effort in helping me achieve my dreams, and yet everything I make is rubbish. I am undeserving of his teachings and his kindness. My father is a distinguished artisan in Kugane. To gain his recognition would require that I craft an exceptional katana. This whole time I have been thinking how exactly I might bring such a blade into existence, but the harder I think, the more I am overcome with panic. To make matters worse, I cannot get Forge Master Brithale's face out of my head. Ever since he stood up for me against my father, I find myself unable to think straight, and a flush rise in my cheeks whenever he is around. He has begun to dominate my thoughts and even my dreams. I do not know what has gotten into me. My apologies. It seems I have gone off on a tangent. There was something you wanted to show me? Yeah, here's a set of tools. Forge Master Brithale and you made these for me? It never occurred to me that your tools can make a difference. Unlike my current ones, these feel so light and sleek. Thank you so much for this wonderful gift. I cannot wait to test them out. I sense love is in the air. And look, it is magnificent, is it not? I made this using the tools you gave me. Wow, that was fast. I only used them to put on the finishing touches, but what an outstanding difference they have made. They are so much easier to handle than my old ones. Some of the things I used to struggle with now almost feel like second nature. Thank you. To think that you and Forge Master Brithale cared deeply enough about me to design such a wonderful set of tools for me. Sekka, it seems that once again you have gone against my wishes. This katana is abysmal. Did you think crafting this bloody sword would somehow change my mind? No, Father. This katana was not made with the intent of showcasing my skill. However, that does not make it any less valuable. This blade, it represents my determination and marks the first step in my journey to becoming the best swordsmith in the realm. Working with these tools reminded me of what it was like to concentrate solely upon feeling the cool bite of metal upon my palm and the reverberation each pound of the mallet sends up my arm. It made me realize that until now, my katana had been made with anxiety, a fear of being rejected, and not for the pure joy of the art. Father, I am at a turning point. Now more than ever, your guidance is essential to my success, and I would like to reiterate my request to you. Please, I beg you, take me on as your apprentice. You exhibit great dedication, but have always lacked the necessary focus and affection for this craft, something which has reflected in your work. All your blades have been uninspired and lackluster. This katana, while far from acceptable, is different. You directed your undivided attention to its creation rather than fixating on gaining my approval. In so doing, you have demonstrated you understand the essence of our art. I shall consider your request. What? Truly? Do not get ahead of yourself. You must first prove your worth. I will have you compete against Anne. Only if you win against her will I accept you. We shall return to Kugane, and there the two of you will face off to see who can make the better katana. Keep in mind, Sekka, this blade, this shall be your last chance. Pardon me, but I don't think I heard you right. You can't mean to say you're planning on stealing away me best Smitty and taking her to some distant country for a bloody competition we didn't even agree to. Father, I have no objection to those terms. And I know it is a lot to ask, but please, 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 will you do this for me? I guess I will. Very good. I shall return to Kugane immediately to start on preparations for the impending match. I will see the three of you there. The three of you? Hold on. You don't mean to include me, do you? Who else? As Guildmaster, it is your duty to accompany your protege and see that she performs to the very best of her ability. Now then, I believe I have a boat to catch. Till next we meet in Kugane. I shall be returning with my father. As we are adversaries now, I can no longer remain here at the guild. Forge Master Brithale, Anne, I suggest you brace yourselves. I shall do everything in my power to win. Seven hells! Those two could give some of the fiercest pirates a run for their gill. There's a lot that needs to be done ere we depart. While I go and make sure things are in order, I expect ye to be practicing. If we're crossing the 5 seas for this bleeding competition, you better be sure to win it. And I'll take the CP. Alright, that did get us just barely to 70. That's good. Let's see. I don't know if I can make whatever this one is. Let's do a test. If I can test this one. Can I make it easily without new gear? Well, I better put on my new tool first. I am just curious. If I can make it okay, I won't need to bother getting the upgraded gear or anything. Okay, let's see what happens. Maybe easily enough with this gear. We'll see. What we get here? How far does this go? That does it. And then we could venerate and hit it. Yep. We can do it. Alright, we might as well. Let's go ahead and finish that off. Kept you waiting, have I? Apologies. Seems I had myself one too many pints of ale last night. Don't worry, that's not going to keep me from traveling with you to the Far East. After all, Sekka and her father still owe us a few trade secrets, and I have to see that they uphold their end of our bargain. I can't shake the feeling that unless she wins, they'll try and weasel their way out of it. Well, I suppose that's just a bridge we'll have to cross when we come to it. For now, let us focus on making it to Kagane in time for the match. It's going to be a lot harder than it sounds. Me head's pounding and me stomach's churning. I don't think I've ever been so unenthused by the idea of leaving Eorzea for distant lands. I'm going to have to take a moment to recuperate, lass, so you go on ahead of me. You go on ahead of me. I won't be too long. You have me word. Alright, we'll head on over there. And let's see. We got Carpenter and Weaver and Armorer over here too. So that'll be convenient if we don't have to do much traveling here. Welcome to Kugane, Anne. We received notice earlier that Forge Master Brithale left shortly after you. I imagine he should be joining us soon. I feel like a totally different person to when I was last here. Where before I would buckle under the pressure of my father's unwavering gaze, lately I have not felt fazed by it in the slightest. Oh, but my apologies, I got off track again. Speaking of my father, he has asked that you meet him in Kokajia, where craftsmen from the poorest to the finest gather in Kugane. There, he will apprise you of the details of our upcoming match. I shall remain here to collect Forge Master Brithale. Oh, you will you? Over to Tier 1. Hey, Shinto. Hey, Blanster. Good to see you over there. Anne, you have come. Very good. Now, without further ado, allow me to explain what it is I would have you do. You and Sekka are to each forge an Uchi-katana. These blades are to be shown to one of the greatest samurai families in Kugane. Their lord is interested in having my forge provide his retainers with katana. Before he officially entrusts me with this task, however, he asks that I provide him with a sample. The two of you will be competing to see which of your Uchi-katana I would present before him. Oh, and one last thing. My daughter. She mentioned to me earlier that in exchange for studying at your guild, she promised to share with Master Brithale the techniques we employ here at my forge. Her skills have grown exponentially under your care, and I have every intention of upholding that agreement. But should you give any less than your best in the contest, and I know full well what you are capable of, consider our deal broken. If you have any questions, now would be the time to speak up. No? Excellent. In that case, I suggest you go and join Sekka at Pier 2. Your guildmaster will be arriving shortly. Alrighty. Uh, uh, sorry, Anne. Do you have a moment? There is something I want to ask you before your guildmaster arrives. You see, every time Forge Master Brithale comes near, my heart feels like it will explode and stop beating at the same time. Sometimes it is so painful I can scarcely breathe. At first, I saw him as a dull and uninspired man, but then, when he so courageously defended my dreams and refused to back down, even in the face of my father's fury, I realized I had misjudged him. In that moment, something inside me shifted. Now I cannot get his face out of my head, and I feel an inexplicable urge to be near him. I just do not understand. You supported me in my journey just the same, so why is it I do not also feel this way about you? Because you're in love with him. In love? With Forge Master Brithale? That is absurd. The only love I hold is for the art of swordsmithing. There is no room for anything or anyone else in my life. But what am I doing? Now is not the time for me to be asking silly questions. I need to prepare for what is arguably the most important moment in my career. Perhaps once this competition is over, we can revisit this conversation. What's this? Me own personal welcoming committee come to escort me ashore? What's wrong, lass? You're red as a beet. What are you talking about? My face is not red. Even if it is only because I am so excited about my victory which looms on the horizon. All right then. You will see, I am going to win. I have come a long way from when I first started. My travels to Eorzea, my studies at your guild, and the new tools the two of you made for me, they relit a fire in my soul. They reminded me of how much I love making katana. This competition is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me to seize my destiny. I will prove to Father that I am worthy of studying under him. That girl is filled with an unrelenting passion for her craft, and she'll make a formidable opponent in the upcoming match. Has Shinto divulged any of the details to you yet? Yes, he has. An Uchigatana to be presented to one of the samurai families, huh? It goes without saying that the first thing they'll be looking at is the sharpness of the blade. You'll also want a simple but elegant design for the hilt. But you already knew that, didn't you? I always forget you've outgrown me advice. Now, I brought with me all the materials you might need. Here. Once you're done, take the Uchigatana to the girl's father. Good luck, Anne, and remember, if you need anything, I'll be here. Alright, let's give it a go. There we go. That makes it easy. On over to Pier 1. You have finished your Uchigatana? Very good. Sekka is still working on hers, so I shall hold off on all critiques until she presents me with her blade. And this is beautiful. The radiance of this blade alone might be enough to repel the tides of chaos. In addition to that, it is so sharp it could cleave even a fine thread of hair in half. The sheath and the hilt have been done to perfection. This blade is fit to be worn at the hip of a great samurai. And beside this brilliant Uchikatana is... what is this? Sekka, it seems you have decided not to take this competition seriously. To the contrary, I expended every last ounce of my skill and strength to create this. Please, see for yourself. Take it into your hand and test it out. By the Kami! Sekka, explain yourself. We were asked to make weapons for retainers, but not all of them can use weapons. Heavier blades may cut better, but they'd be useless in the hands of the untrained. These lighter substitutes, however, can be handled by even the clumsiest of servants. Even so, the reduced weight has come at the expense of the blade's overall quality. While you are not wrong in assuming that a great majority of a lord's vassals are not adept at using katana, you were asked to forge a sample sword intended for one of his samurai. It does not take an expert to see that Anne's blade is far superior to yours not only in utility but also aesthetically. This is what I will be presenting to the samurai house. I will say, however, that taking a client's needs and physical limitations into consideration is a necessary part of our craft. Next time, be sure to consult me before jumping to your own conclusions. Next time? So that means... where before you were pounding your hammer in a single-minded desperation to gain my favor, now you are no longer blind. You have shown extraordinary progress as a swordsmith, and I believe you are finally ready to begin your studies under me. Did you hear that, lass? Sounds to me your dreams are about to become a reality. Indeed, and I owe that in large part to you. Thank you, Forge Master Brithale. Without your guidance, I would not have been able to make it this far. You have been a great inspiration to me in more ways than you can imagine. I spent this entire time trying to convince myself this strange pressure I felt in my chest was due to the competition. Now that I have been accepted as my father's apprentice, however, I can deny it no longer. Forge Master Brithale, I think I am in love with you. Pardon me? Master Brithale, what exactly is the meaning of this? I thought my daughter was accepted into your guild that you might exchange blacksmithing techniques, not vows. My apologies, but something rather pressing just came up and it requires my immediate attention. And I'll see you back at the guild. I had not realized he was so shy. It almost makes him even more endearing. Okay. Congratulations, Anne. You have won the challenge. It seems there is a great deal we can learn from you and your guild. That reminds me, while Sekka herself is still not in a place to take on such responsibility, I have every intention of seeing that our end of the agreement she struck is upheld. We look forward to exchanging smithing techniques with your forge. My father is right. For now, I must focus solely on improving my skills. The Uchi katana I made for this competition was meant to be forged in the likeness of the lightweight short swords manufactured at your guild. It, however, turned out far inferior. I shall train unrelentingly. Perhaps one day when I refine my skills to a point where I am worthy of being called a master swordsmith, I can then take on this duty and thus reignite the romantic spark between me and Forge Master Brithale. In the meantime, I shall keep my feelings for him sealed tightly away. I only hope that as the days and months go by, he will not forget my love. Thank you for everything, Anne. You are a wonderful person and an even better blacksmith. I won't be forgetting you anytime soon. Yes, it is as my daughter says. You have won our respect and our gratitude. Had it not been for you, Sekka would not have grown as she has. That said, I suppose this is where we part ways. I am sure that lecher of a forge master is anxious to have you back. Yeah, I'm sure he is. Alright, well, let's see. We don't get... What do we get for that? We'll get the three materia. And I might as well head back here and... No, let's not do that. Alright, well, we're right here. We ought to do the armor craft. And we'll complete that blacksmith and we'll go back to Limsa. Ah, Anne, is it not? How are you finding your apprenticeship here in Kokajia? From the looks of things, you have developed a solid mastery of the fundamentals. Yes, I think mayhap it is time we honed your skills with a more practical task. I would have you accept a commission from one of our patrons. As fortune would have it, one of the samurai families has requested our services. Fulfilling this request shall serve as your next lesson. A welcome challenge. So, where can we find this client of yours? A meeting has been arranged to take place in Tenkanto. The client is a master gyosei. Listen attentively and expend every effort to satisfy his wishes. Consider it done. Come on, Anne, let's go and meet with this master gyosei. Master gyosei. Like he's by the etherite here. Hey, there he is. Yes, I am Gyosei. What would you have of me, Ijin? Ah, forgive my brusque manner. I did not expect... And just how long have you two been studying with Master Fugetsu? But recently arrived from Eorzea, you say? And just newly apprenticed? How wonderful that your instruction in Hingan methods coincides with my most urgent request. No matter, I shall place my trust in your skill, as Master Fugetsu has clearly done. As for my request, I need you to craft for me new headgear for the Gozen GI. For the Gozen GI. Yes, the Gozen GI. It is a tournament of sorts where samurai display their prowess with the blade before members of the nobility. An exceptional performance can earn one a most lucrative appointment. Ah, so you're looking to impress a future employer. Don't you worry, sir. You've put yourself in capable hands. Glad I am to hear such confidence. I expect not less than perfection from an apprentice of Master Fugetsu. What say we have ourselves a little contest, Anne? I reckon we both have a go at making a piece for our client here and see whose work he likes best. And maybe if Master Fugetsu thinks me design is good enough, then I can skip all this basic rubbish and move on to learning how to make me style more distinct. Let's head back and pick up some supplies from Unru. I can't say that. Master Gyosei, sir, we'll be getting to work on your commission now if you don't mind. I'd like you to stop by Kokajia once it's finished. Very good. I shall await word of my armor's completion then. All right. Back over to Pier 1. And if you're just joining us, welcome. We're playing Final Fantasy XIV, doing our crafters today, trying to get their stories finished through Stormblood. And once we've done that, we will be moving on to Shadowbringers. We might not make it today, but that's what we're progressing on so far. Anyways, I wonder how you're doing. Let us know down in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. If you have anything else you'd like to talk about, drop a message there too. Of course, if you would prefer to just lurk and enjoy the atmosphere and the game with us, by all means do that. We're happy to have you here. Lanster tells me you are to compete for the client's favor. I wonder, however, if you are familiar with the Gozen GI and what might be considered preferable armor. Before you begin, why not ask the advice of those with the relevant experience? One such person might be the Sekisugumi Blade, who shared with you his ideas on the perfect kote. He will have participated in the tournament in question and is thus in possession of an invaluable perspective. Another fine choice would be a stall keeper in the Rakusa district. Such a merchant will have traded in many types of armor and could provide you with a broader range of ideas. Let me know when you have decided on a piece, and I shall plunder our stores for you. Master Fugetsu does not like it when I use words such as plunder. Hey, Seka. Still hanging out there thinking about Brithale? Alright, let's see. Sekisugumi over here. Ah, well, if it isn't my fellow Kote enthusiast. You were able to forge a fine pair of gauntlets, I trust. I see, and this time you are to craft headgear for a Gozen GI participant. First and foremost, the tournament takes place before a significant gathering of the nobility. As such, it is best to avoid ostentatious designs or gaudy color combinations. When I myself joined the tournament, I also found it advantageous to wear a face mask, which allowed a wide field of vision. That is all I can tell you of armor. Your client's success will otherwise rely upon his own skill. Closer, my friend. Come closer. See anything you like? Huh? Headgear for the Gozen GI. Well, each combatant has his preferences, but most will choose a face mask of some kind. There's the Hatsuburi, which protects the brow and cheeks, and the Somen, a fuller version which stretches further down and across the jaw. I've seen warriors who bind their head with naught but a hakamachi, and I've seen the same warriors carried out with cracked skulls. A strip of cloth affords poor protection, you'll find. Alright. Go speak with Unryu. Unryu. Have you decided on the piece you wish to forge? Yeah, whatever's in my crafting log. A Somen, is it? Very well, one moment and I'll see what we have. Ah, this should do nicely. Here. As always, I will replace your materials should you happen to slip with your hammer. I am a generous quartermaster. Oh, and I believe you are to present your work to Master Fugetsu when it is ready. Very well then. Lanster has explained to me that you plan to have the client choose between his and your work. Do you have your piece ready? Yes, I do, right here. I see you have chosen to craft a Somen. I am very curious indeed to witness the outcome of this little contest. Oh, are both these pieces for my commission? Aye, but I'll not say who made which. You just pick the one what catches your fancy, sir. I have made my decision. Right, let's hear it then. I shall take this Somen. Now hang on a bloody moment. You're choosing the Somen over me Silver Snake Kabuto? But surely you can't pass up the helm what protects your whole head. And look at that serpent head. It's a symbol of good fortune over here, ain't it? Not to mention how such an original design will catch the eye of your prospective employers. The Gozen GI is a tournament, not a life or death battle. While certain precautions must still be taken, it is not needful nor desirable to don the heaviest armors available. And when fighting before the nobility, it is considered tactless to draw attention with aught besides one's skill with the blade. A simple face mask is sufficient to put one's mind in the right frame for battle. But you didn't... Can't you just... Enough, apprentice. The client has decided and the matter is settled. Furthermore, it would seem you are in need of instruction regarding the original design of your Kabuto. You once confided in me that the sight of a Heavenstern helmet drove you to seek originality in your own work. I fear, however, that you misunderstand the motive behind the uniqueness of those designs. The Heavenstern helmets were crafted to reflect the desire of the Bugyo to introduce those animals to Eorzea and foster a fondness for our sacred symbols. They were not, as you seem to believe, created to exhibit my own personal styles as an armorer. Your efforts to learn and incorporate our culture into your work and the exquisite detail of the Kabuto's embellishments are worthy of praise. But such grand achievements are meaningless if the resulting piece fails to satisfy the needs and expectations of the client. You're right, Master Fugetsu. Seems that ever since I saw that helm, I've been obsessed with creating Summit with the same impact. In me rush to find me own style, I've gone and forgotten what I learned about tailoring me work to the client. I've wasted your time, Master Gyosei, and I beg your forgiveness. Thank you, Master Fugetsu, for bringing me to my senses. If you'll still have me as your apprentice, it seems I could do with a few more lessons. Of course, Blanster. I would make a poor teacher indeed were I to turn away a student so willing to make improvements. Master Gyosei, I too offer my apologies for this misunderstanding. You must be eager to try on Anne Soman. We thank you for your patronage and pray that your efforts at the Gozen GI will meet with resounding success. Your well wishes are much appreciated. You should be proud to have such talented apprentices. May fortune smile upon your forge. And we'll take the CP again. There we go, made it to 70. Get our tool equipped here. And since me little failure, I've gone back to learning all I can from Master Fugetsu. It's been full sail ahead for days now. Yes, Blanster is an extraordinarily fast learner. At this rate, I shall run out of things to teach him. Ha 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 ha. And what of your training, apprentice? You are enjoying your stay in the land of Hingashi? Certainly. I am glad. To be a stranger in a strange land can be trying at times. Pray, forgive my intrusion. It is I, Gyosei. I thought to extend my gratitude once more for your finely crafted soman ere I make my departure. Master Gyosei, what's this about a departure? Ah, Blanster, I trust you are keeping well? I had some small success at the Gozen GI and pledged my katana to a lord. As fortune may have it, I am to leave Kugane this very day. It would seem that the good folk of my new master's domain are plagued by bandits and thieves, and it is to aid in the uprooting of such undesirables that my blade was bound into service. I see, and that's a good thing, right? It certainly is. Could you spare some time before you leave then? It was at the expense of your commission that I made a breakthrough with me armorsmith. And I'd like to forge you a set of armor by way of an apology. Me professional pride demands it. An offer so noble it brings tears to my eyes. It is with great reluctance, then, that I must decline. The hour of my departure draws near, and I cannot delay. Ah, well, that's a bloody shame. You have my hammer. You'll help me then? Aye, with your aid, I reckon we could bang out a full suit faster and you could say, Byragot's beard. Oh, your heart is as pure as the metals you forge, Anne. Right then, we'd best get to work. Would you be willing to wait a bit, Master Gyosei? I promise we'll have everything ready in time for you to make your ship. You have convinced me. I shall trust in your talents and abide here a while. And I've got myself an idea, but let's talk about it outside, eh? I've been thinking on the type of armor we ought to forge for our samurai mate. Now, Hingan armor is flexible and pretty and all, but it's hard to look past the protection provided by Luminsen plate. It seems Master Gyosei will be heading into battle against bandits and the like, which sounds none too safe to me. So I reckon we give him a suit of the kind only we could craft. One of Hingan style, what befits a samurai, but with a few Eorzean touches thrown in for good measure. I want you to forge the chest piece, a Luminsen Haraate, if you get me meaning. And while you're working on that, I'll put together the rest. You know, the helm and the gauntlets and such. It'll need to be a grand kabuto, somewhat what represents Gyosei's nature as well as his purpose. Unryu and his well-stocked shelves should be able to provide you with supplies for the Haraate. We're on a tight schedule here, Anne, so you'd best get to hammering right away. If I need to make a quick trip to look into a couple things, then I'll get to work myself. Meet me back here when you're done. Is there something I can do for you, Anne? Interesting. Let me just see what I have. Here we go. This should be enough for the raw materials. Should you have a little accident with the pliers, I'll be glad to give you another armful of supplies. You're to meet with Blanster when the piece is finished, yes? All right. Bumping another one here, so there we go. That'll be nice. There we go. All right. Got plenty of CP. That's nice. I've done my research right and proper this time, Anne. Is your work finished then? Oh, you've outdone yourself. Let me bundle it together with me other bits and pieces, and we can present the whole set to Master Gyosei. It's all ready for you to try on, sir. I hope it meets with your approval. do not know what artisan sorcery you employed to craft this so swiftly, but I am beyond pleased with the result. Even with those big rabbit ears. Look at that. That is a rabbit just hanging out on his helmet. And you even extended the effort to learn my family's crest. This kabuto is an astonishing recreation of our forward-facing rabbit. Oh, okay. Family crest, huh? Interesting. I'm glad you like it. I asked around and they told me the rabbit's one of them sacred animals what brings prosperity and long life. Seemed the perfect choice. The rabbit is also called upon in battle to guard against mishap, as well as grant a swift victory. A Kawari Kabuto is more than a lucky charm, however. It serves to announce the presence of an individual warrior. When a renowned samurai takes to the field wearing his distinctive helm, his foe marks his arrival and despair. But for the samurai's allies, such a kabuto signals the appearance of a staunch companion and can inspire the weary to rally against desperate odds. This helm you have crafted captures the very essence of the Kawari Kabuto's purpose. But I must admit to some confusion as to the absence of traditional scales on the chest armor. What manner of plate is this? Ah, I see. Though the design is Hingan, the metal itself has been forged with Lominsan techniques, a very modern confluence of styles. Ah, would that I could stay and heap you with greater praise and gratitude, but I have already tarried overlong. Pray forgive my ill manners. I shall repay this boon by defending good folk from the predations of villainous men. My katana shall sing as I spring across the battlefield with the swiftness of the rabbit. Farewell, good masters. Well, that's that then. I learned what I came to learn, and I reckon it's time I packed up and headed home. Thank you, Master Fugetsu. You've been a fine teacher. Could I mayhap ask a favor of you before you leave? I would be most grateful if you could teach me the technique used in shaping the plates of Master Gyosei's armor. I sense great potential for future innovations. It's all right, Anne. I won't keep you here any longer. I know you're an adventurer as well as an armorer, and you're likely getting itchy feet by now. I'll stay behind and instruct Master Fugetsu myself. After all, what better way to repay him for all them Hingan tricks he taught me? But do you think you could explain the situation to Hananza for me? She'll take it better coming from her favorite artisan any road. Alright, and then while we're here, we'll do Carpenter also. Carpenter and Weaver here. Oops, sorry about that. Live and let die. Ah, Anne, a letter from Semi has just arrived for you. Dear Anne, I am writing to tell you that I have arrived in a tiny village in Yanxia known as Namai. It's such a delightful place. Every day I stumble across something new, whether it be the unusual materials they employ in their construction or the unfamiliar but delicious foods. Oh yes, the food here is exquisite and their desserts are even better. In fact, the sugar-coated dumplings they have are simply to die for. I'll be sure to treat you to some when you come. See you soon. Yours truly, Semi. Alright, well I won't head over there yet. We'll work on Weaver here. Mistress Adventurer, you will be pleased to hear that Keiko Odori was a rousing success, and thanks in no small part to you, of course, Kotocho was the star of the show. The foreign dignitaries in attendance were positively smitten with the sight of a geiko performing a traditional Hingan dance clad in a striking Eorzean dress, a true fusion of East and West, the old and the new. What's more, ever since then, the inns and tea houses of the Flower District are packed with Ijin customers, many of whom ask for our butterfly night after night. So much for Kototsuru and her haughty words of warning. With her popularity ever burgeoning, my butterfly has received another prestigious invitation, this time none other from the Bugyo himself. Kugane's highest magistrate will be holding an exclusive banquet at his estate for official guests of state, and he has called on a select group of geiko to entertain them. If Kotocho can win the favor of the Bugyo and his associates, none will be able to dismiss her as a passing fancy destined to vanish like the foam on the water. Needless to say, the importance of the occasion has not been lost on the dear girl. She has asked me for another gift, and who am I? Who are we to refuse? I humbly request you call upon her at her residence in the Hanamachi and take note of her every wish. Can you believe this, Mistress Adventurer? Kototsuru insists that I attend the Bugyo's banquet in a traditional silk kimono. What right does she have to make such a decision? She is senior to me, yes, but I am my own woman. Tell her what you have told me, friend. Tell her that my boldness is an indispensable part of what makes me me. There you go again, Kotocho, dragging others into your petty squabbles. Can you not see this foreigner has more important matters on her mind? Pray forgive Kotocho for her rudeness, Mistress Adventurer. She cannot help being the petulant little girl she is. There you go again, Kototsuru, always thinking you know what's best for me. I'm dragging Mistress Adventurer into nothing. She fashions her masterworks for me because she believes in me in my dream, as Master Keimei does. Is it not so? I think you're just jealous. Jealous because I am wearing inspired fashions from across the Ruby Sea, while you are still trotting out that fusty old kimono. Poor child, clearly my teachings were for naught, but I will deign to teach you one final lesson. This is what I propose. Let us compete to see which of us earns the favor of the Bugyo. Challenge accepted. You will eat your words and your moth-eaten kimono both when the student outshines her teacher. Such confidence. I take it then you will not be opposed to the conditions. The loser will immediately renounce her position and return to the scullery as an apprentice. Oh, but look at the time. A customer calls. Do try not to trip over your own feet when you practice now. Ah, finally. I swear, when Kototsuru stands beside me, the air is so stuffy with musty old tradition that I can scarcely breathe. But a new wind blows in Kugane, and bold youth and individuality will win the day. I will see to this. And you will help me, yes? I would have you fashion the most eye-catching dress imaginable, something that will make that old hag shrink from the mere sight. Mayhap something like... but what was it the dignitary spoke of? the piece favored by his favorite dancing girl, a Navtharian bustier, was it? Well, whatever it is called, that is precisely what I want. You will make it for me, yes? In my favorite color, of course. Tell the young master that this is truly a life and death battle for his butterfly, and we can afford to spare no expense. And now, I must return to my lessons. I am counting on you, Mistress Adventurer. You have spoken with my butterfly, I presume? What manner of dress does the girl seek this time? A dress even more revealing than that worn by the Uldan dancing girls. What is this strange sensation I feel in my chest? As always, the finest fabrics in our inventory are at your disposal. What will you require? Oh dear. Just between the two of us, silk of a quality befitting my butterfly is not cheaply had, and yet, so long as Kotocho's star continues to rise, the demand for Western fashions will spread, and our profits will only grow. A contest with Kototsuru, you say? With the loser forced to start her career over from the lowest rung of the Geiko ranks? This is most concerning, to say the least. But no, I must trust in my butterfly. The girl has not achieved all she has by walking the well-trodden path, and my own confidence and boldness and daring must be the equal of hers. You may follow Kotocho's orders to the letter, and do so with my blessing. Yagiri will provide you with all that you require. May the kami guide your needle, Mistress Adventurer. Welcome back, honored guest. The young master told me that you would be returning. Here are the fabrics he has set aside for you. The silk is quite costly, this I know, but you are certain that such a limited quantity will suffice? It only covers a... forgive me, friend. I meant no disrespect. You must understand that we in Hingashi have but recently become exposed to the cultures and customs of your homeland. Judging from what I have seen of your work, I have no doubt that any garment you fashion will be an exquisite piece of unparalleled quality and good taste. Should you require any more fabric, you need but speak the word. And we'll make us, let's see here, a seductive bustier. Mission accomplished. I must say, Mistress Adventurer, my heart is still... The dress is complete, you say? Pray, show it to me without delay. It's lovely, my friend, but where is the rest of it? But I jest. It is just as I envisioned it. We simply must have my butterfly try it on at once. Kotocho! Kotocho! What say you, my friends? Kotochu, forgive me, it was a bit too much for my senses to take in all at once, but now I see it all. I see your resolve and determination as never before. If you would bear your passion in full, Know that you will have my unwavering support. You are too kind, young master. And Mistress Adventurer, you have truly outdone yourself this time. It is so light and airy, why, I feel as if I could take flight this very instant. My battle with Kototsuru is all but won. That is the spirit, my butterfly. Do not let that one fluster you. Breathe deeply and show the Bugyo the fruits of your training, and Mistress Adventurer's masterpiece will surely do the rest. Thank you, my friends. Mark my words, my performance will be daring and bold as the dress you have gifted me. I will dance as I have never danced before. Forgive me. I seem to be short of breath. No doubt it is simply the anxiety I am feeling in anticipation of my butterfly's most formidable trial yet. I am sorry, Mistress Adventurer, but I am feeling rather faint. Would you be so kind as to keep me company here until my butterfly returns? Thank you for the company, my friend. I would surely have passed out hours ago were you not here at my side. But whatever is keeping Kotocho? Surely the banquet is long over by now. Could it be that... No, my butterfly was triumphant. I am sure of it. I can stand the anticipation no more. Let us split up and find the girlfriend. I will make for the Bugyo's estate. Might you search the piers? I have known Kotocho to look out over the ocean there when she wants to clear her mind. All right, let's go find the elusive Kotocho then. Mistress Adventurer? Whatever brings you here? Forgive me for worrying you so. I do not deserve your kindness. Oh, my butterfly, thank the kami that you are safe. When you did not return after the banquet, I feared the worst, but pray tell, how did you fare in your contest with Kototsuru? Forgive me, young master. It is all over. And after all you have done for me. I failed you, my friends. The bustier Mistress Adventurer made for me was perfect, of course. All the blame lies with me. I was not worthy of it. The moment I stepped on the stage, all eyes in the audience fell on me. I saw the looks of shocked surprise on their faces, and before I knew it, my mind was blank, my body frozen. If only I had given my training the same attention as my attire, I might have salvaged a performance worthy of the occasion. Oh, what a fool I am. Finally, you learn. A pity it is too late. That dress, or whatever you would call it, is a marvel indeed, but I fear you also made a fatal error of judgment, my girl. The honored guests of the Bugyo, nearly to a man, hailed from Radzithan. The sight of a scantily clad dancing girl is nothing new to them. They may have been amused to see the fashions of their homeland on display here in Kugane, but make no mistake, that is not what brought them here. They came to our shores to feast their eyes and ears on traditional Hingan song and dance. Yes, the tradition that you are so quick to scorn. But worry not, you will have plenty of time to learn to appreciate it in your second apprenticeship. Watch closely and have the humility to learn from those around you, and mayhap you will reclaim your position on your own merits. I, for one, would welcome that day. I should have known. I was never Kototsuru's equal. She sees clearly all that I was blind to, the truth of my clients, of trends in fashion, even of myself. For all her harsh words, she was only looking out for me, doing all she could to teach me the ways of the world, and yet I responded with the insolence and impudence of a child. Even still, she never gave up on me, not even today. I will not forget the lessons I have learned. I will carry them in my heart at all times as I start over from where I began, that one day I might spread my wings and fly once more. Master Kame, after all you have done for me, in the end I brought nothing but shame to you and your family's business. But I will not ask for your forgiveness, no, for I must show my deeds that I am truly deserving of it. I promise that my flower will bloom once more. You will wait until that day, yes? Oh, but of course, my sweet butterfly. To see you pursue your dreams with such single-minded devotion, the shackles of custom and tradition be damned. It has filled me with a new sense of purpose. Perhaps your rise was too swift, too striking for the staid, uncultured masses, but this I know. Stay true to yourself and devote yourself to your training, and your era will come. It is but a matter of time. Thank you, my friends. And now I must return to my quarters and gather my belongings. Farewell, young master, mistress adventurer, till we meet again. I put on a smile for Kotochu's sake, but to speak the truth, I am at something of a loss right now. I would return to my store and collect my thoughts. Pray, stop by later. There are matters we should discuss. Thank you for coming, my friend. To be quite honest, I fear for what will become of our business without Kotocho to lure in potential customers and draw attention to our Western fashions. Still, there is naught to do but hawk our wares and hope that our butterflies' stay in the apprentice ranks will be short-lived. In the meantime, pray continue to heighten your aesthetic senses and hone your craft. When Kotocho regains her status, I would gift her with a garment worthy of the occasion. Sounds good. Take CP here. And we made it to 70, so we can do the next one here. Mistress Adventure, I have the most wonderful news. Our butterfly is a geiko once more. They say Kotocho devoted herself to even the most menial of her tasks with such diligence that she quickly won over even the strictest of her seniors. She will make her triumphant return at the Kugane Odori, the greatest spectacle in our fair city, where veteran geiko and fledgling meiko alike take the stage in a vivid display of all the cultural riches the Hanamachi has to offer. The festivities are held once a year, and as tradition goes, the geiko who earns the highest acclaim takes her place atop the flower district until such time as she is dethroned at a future event. As you might imagine, Kototsuru has held that position since as long as I can remember. There has, however, been a most unexpected turn of events. Just the other day, Kototsuru announced that she will not only be withdrawing from the festivities, but retiring from the Hanamachi altogether. Rumor has it that she is to be wed. The suddenness of it all has the flower district in a state of disarray. That said, this could very well be the chance of a lifetime for our butterfly. So I thought at least, yet for reasons I cannot comprehend, when I asked what she would wear this time, she simply lowered her head and walked away. It is entirely unlike the girl to be so glum on the eve of what very well might be the chance of a lifetime. Is it possible she harbors a worry that she is ashamed to discuss with me? I cannot say, but I would be ever so grateful if you could talk with her in my stead. Certainly. Oh, Mistress Adventurer, have you come to congratulate me on my promotion? You are always so kind. Sadly, I am afraid I'm not much in the mood for celebration. Well, what's wrong? Thank you, friend, but you have heard the news, yes? Kototsuru is leaving the Hanamachi, never to return. However can this be? It embarrasses me to say this, but were it not for Kototsuru, I would not be the Geiko I am today. As a child, I saw her twirl across the stage at the Kugane Odori, and it moved me as nothing I had seen before. In that instant, I knew I would give anything to dance beside her one day. At the Bugyo's banquet, my dream was finally realized. In the end, my performance was not worthy of sharing the same stage, and yet still, deep down, the little girl inside me was giddy as could be. This is what sustained me as I scrubbed the floors and folded the kimono of girls years as my junior, knowing that if I did what was asked of me, the day would come that I could once more stand next to she who taught me everything, and this time prove my true worth. But now that day will never come, and so I have told the young master I will have need of his gifts no longer. To take the stage with this empty heart would only bring shame to him, and to the flower district itself. You have been most kind to me, but I would be alone with my thoughts for a while. Tell Master Kame I am sorry. Oh, thank the Kami you returned. You have spoken with my butterfly, yes? What is it that pains her? I see. Without her rival and role model to bring her focus, Kotocho has lost the will to go on. The poor girl. Why must she torture herself so? That said, it is quite like her. Once she has set her mind to something, she is not easily swayed by the words of others. It can be one of her most endearing qualities, and at times like this, one of her most frustrating. As the girl's patron, it is my duty to support her in any way I am able. To this point, this has mostly taken the form of tangible gifts, but it would seem my butterfly requires a different sort of favor from us this day. Mistress Adventurer, might you be so kind as to accompany me to speak with Kototsuru? We may yet be able to convince her to reconsider her decision. She is known to frequent the piers at this time of night. I will be along as soon as I have seen to matters around the shop. Thank you, my friend. Well, if it isn't the adventurer that fool child is always imposing on, whatever brings you here? Kototsuru, you must hear us out. A young girl's very life hangs in the balance. Must you always be so dramatic? You are free to make your plea, though I, of course, am free to deny it. I beg of you, Kototsuru, pray, postpone your retirement, if only for a fortnight. Say that you will dance at the Kugane Odori one last time. Forgive me, but I believe this life is my own to live. To tell the truth, I have already put off my marriage quite long enough. Though I am getting no younger, I could not very well leave the Hanamachi without knowing I had a worthy successor, one who could lead the flower district for years to come. But things are different now. There is, at last, one who could follow in my footsteps. She is already a favorite of the crowds, and though once she stumbled, she has risen again with newfound humility to temper her passion. I would step aside and let her take center stage. Meanwhile, the girl of whom you speak is saying that she may never dance again. This is why we have come to you, Kototsuru. You must help us save our butterfly. Whatever would you need of me? You are her patron, are you not? It is you and Mistress Adventurer who have supported her through her most taxing trials, not I. You are what she herself strives to be. We may be her patrons and her friends, but you, Kototsuru, you are the one she always looked up to, and what she herself one day would be. The girl has come far, but she is still a girl. Without you to guide her, to challenge her to be more than who she is today, she is as good as lost. One last chance to share the stage with her idol, to prove herself worthy. This is all my butterfly wants, and if she is deprived of it, it will haunt her for the rest of her days. We beg of you, Kototsuru, do not abandon the child in her moment of need. You would propose another contest? Be forewarned that I would not take the challenge lightly. If I were to defeat her again, who is to say she would not flee the Hanamachi with her tail between her legs? If that is how it goes, it would only show that she was not ready to carry on your legacy after all. If that is the case, it is better you learn now rather than later, no? Indeed, harsher words than I would expect to hear from you, Keimei, and yet there is truth in them. Very well. I will acquiesce to your request. You will see me on stage at the Kugane Odori, on one condition. Kotocho and I will don the same dress, and dance the same dance, a dance of my choosing. We shall perform the ancient dance that came to Hingashi from Doma in days long past, the Tenyo no Mai. The dance of an angel lured down from her sequestered home in the sky. But Doman custom dictates that all who dance the Tenyo no Mai must wear a Tenyo Hagoromo in the classic tradition, of course. Simply nothing else will do. Now, Master Keimei, I trust you will be seeing to my attire as well as that of your precious butterfly, yes? But of course, it would be our pleasure, right, Mistress Adventurer? You may consider it a wedding present from the both of us to you. That said, this is quite unprecedented. I cannot recall the last time a dance of ancient Doma was performed at the Kugane Odori, much less a time when two leading geiko performed in identical garb. You seek to level the playing field to ensure that this is a test of pure skill? Very astute, Keimei. For all your posturing, at times I look in your eyes and see the man who found me in the tea houses, who bought me my first kimono so many years ago. Father? At any rate, consider all of your conditions accepted, Kototsuru. For all that you have done and will do for my butterfly, I thank you. And with that, I should return to the Flower District. I look forward to my present, Mistress Adventurer. Well, that went about as well as could be expected. Still, we haven't any time to lose. Let us meet back at the shop. I will send for Kotocho. It would seem we are all here. Excellent. Kotochu, there is something you must know. Wait, young master. Before that, there is something I would say as well, to both of you. You have been so gracious with me, lavishing upon me presents I scarce deserved, but I fear I can accept your patronage no longer. Whatever passion for my art I once had burns within me no longer, and so I will be leaving the Flower District. Forever. Wait, my sweet butterfly, have you not heard the news? Kototsuru has agreed to give one last performance at the Kugane Odori. What's more, she has issued a personal challenge to you. What? Could this be true? She has, however, given her conditions. The two will perform as one, the Tenyo no Mai, the dance of ancient Doma, and do so clad in identical Tenyo Hagoromo fashioned by Mistress Adventurer's hand. Can my ears be believed? I will not only share the same stage with Kototsuru, but don the same dress and dance the same dance? Change of plans, young master. Your butterfly will not be retiring after all. After all, we must send Kototsuru off in grand fashion, must we not? Mistress Adventurer, might I trouble you with one last commission? Those are the eyes burning with passion that stole my heart that day. We stand by your side as ever, my butterfly. Pray, show us the dance of your lifetime and give Kototsuru the wedding present that only you could provide. Young master, Mistress Adventurer, words cannot convey my gratitude for all you have done for me. I promise you that this time will be different. No, I will not shirk my training for even a moment. But what am I still doing here? I must begin at once. This will be the final piece I ask of you, friend. I need not impress upon you the gravity of it all. For my part, I could assure you I have spared no expense in procuring the finest of materials. Fabrics of the purest white, so pure one would think they were weaved by the angels themselves, white to symbolize Kototsuru's betrothal and Kotochu's rebirth. A traditional garment of the East, it will doubtless be unlike any dress you have fashioned before, but I trust in your talent and all you have learned since coming here to Kugane. I am most looking forward to seeing your Hagoromo. Welcome back, friend. I trust you have come for the fabrics the young master has prepared. They are yours. The Tenyo no Mai, as Doman legend has it, was first danced to entice an angel down from a castle in the sky in which she had sequestered herself. It is a dance with a storied history. It is not surprising that Kototsuru, with her deep appreciation for tradition, would make such a choice. And yet, to my knowledge, it is rarely performed by two dancers in tandem. Doubtless, Kototsuru is looking to give the audience at her final Kugane Odori the show of their lives. It would seem that the veteran has high hopes for Kotocho as well, but can the young butterfly truly live up to her mentor's demanding expectations? I, for one, will be on the edge of my seat. Alright, gotta craft 2 of these things. Yeah, we'll ignore that. Excellent there. Whoops, oh well. No matter. Did not take full advantage of what I could do here. 1. What did I just do? That was stupid. Alright. There we go. 2. Is that what I think it is? I knew I could count on you, friend. Yep, 2 of the same thing. Excellent. I would not spoil the moment by looking upon them here and now. No, I will deliver the dresses to the Hanamachi at once. You have my most sincere gratitude for all that you have done for us. Pray, do not miss the festivities. I am quite certain it will be a spectacle for the ages. Ah, there you are, Mistress Adventurer. Kotocho and Kototsuru are set to take the stage at any moment now. Just look at them, my friend. If such a thing were possible, I could swear that 2 angels descended from the heavens stand before our very eyes. Every glance, every movement in perfect unison. It is as if the 2 of them breathe as one. Is this still our mortal world we live in? Pray, pinch me, friend, that I might be certain I have not been spirited away to a land of dream and fancy. On second thought, stay your hand. For even if we were trapped in a fantasy never to return whence we came, if I could watch these 2 for all eternity, I would gladly accept such a fate. I have no words for the beauty I just witnessed. It is as if I am lost in a dream from which I hope never to wake. You can thank Mistress Adventurer for that. From the moment I wrapped myself in this Hagoromo, it was as if I had truly transformed into an angel. In all my years on the stage, I have never felt as I did this day. It was as if our bodies and souls were one. I knew not where one of us ended and the other began, and to think that I almost left the Hanamachi without ever having experienced the rapture of this night. Kototsuru, forgive the headstrong, foolish girl you knew, and know that the woman who stands before you understands all that you have done for me through the years, and thanks you from the bottom of her heart. It would appear our contest has ended in a draw, but I would have it no other way. Once I dreamed of the day when I would surpass you, but today a new dream is born inside of me. All that you have given me, I will share with those around me, the young master, Mistress Adventurer, and all those in Kugane, citizen and wayfarer alike, who would honor me with their patronage. The flower district will be in safe hands. Farewell, my dear sister, and may happiness fill the rest of your days. Thank you, my dear, but let us save the farewells for the proper occasion, shall we? Or is the shining star of the Hanamachi in such demand that she would refuse an invitation to perform at my ceremony? Well, that turned out nicely. Mistress Adventurer, you truly outdid yourself this time. I have not the words to convey the full depths of my gratitude. With Kototsuru's retirement, the changing of the guard is complete. Kotocho will assume her place atop the ranks of the Geiko, where she will lead the Flower District into a new era. Great changes are coming, no doubt, but I am confident my butterfly is up to the task. After that ethereal performance, word has it all in the Hanamachi feel the same. I spoke with the girl just before you came. She says that henceforth she intends to perform in both the Eorzean dresses you fashioned for her and the traditional kimono handed down to her by Kototsuru. In this way, she says, she would usher the Flower District into the future while taking care never to lose sight of the traditions of the past. Oh, how the girl has grown. My apologies. It is unlike me to get so emotional, and this, I do believe, marks the most successful conclusion of our contract. Thank you, my friend, and rest assured that my butterfly will see that your sublime fashions do not go to waste. I do hope that your sojourn in Kugane has been a fruitful one. After all, mayhap your countrymen in Eorzea might take an interest in Hingan fashions as we have taken an interest in yours. But forgive me, this is but a humble suggestion. Till our paths cross again, safe travels, my friend. Awesome. And let's see, just no new tools or anything. All right, let's change back to Carpenter and head over to Namai to work on that one. Anne, how wonderful it is to see you. It's been far too long. Have you tried any of the local cuisine yet? If you haven't, I know the perfect place for us to start. I was planning to take you there purely to discuss business, I swear. After all, where better to do that than over food? All right. Your disapproval has been duly noted. Instead of going for food, let us search out any people who might be in need of our assistance then. Help? Yes, I could use some of that. You see, in the days before the Empire held dominion over our lands, I was a chef. While our freedom from them is fleeting, I would nevertheless like to use this opportunity to once again pursue my passion for cooking. As such, I have been thinking to open up my own restaurant. To do so, I would need to procure basic furnishings for my future shop. It is not a simple task. Most of what I have come across is either far too expensive or of poor quality. Then you may be pleased to hear, sir, that before you stand two highly skilled members of the Carpenters Guild in Gridania. We shall see that you receive the furniture you require. You would do this for me? Most certainly. What kind of furnishings do you need? Apart from tables and chairs, I need something that would allow my guests to feel at ease. Those from the Enclave have different dining habits to those of us here in Namai. I would like to create an environment where both would feel equally welcome. Please, leave it to us, sir. Now, Anne, what do you say to making things a tad more interesting? Let us turn this into a competition. We will each make something for our client and present the finished product to him. He will then judge them and decide on a winner. Pretty, please, won't you do it for me? This is the only way I can show Timber Master Beaton I'm just as skilled as all the other carpenters in the guild. Haha, it's settled then. Go about making the furniture however you will, but I recommend you speak with the people here before getting started. Some have lived here their entire lives, others once lived in the Enclave. With their help, you may better understand the subtle differences in our ways. Thank you, sir. We'll be sure to do that. And once you've decided what you'll be making, come and find me. I'll furnish you with any materials you might need. The only difference is that table manners are practically non-existent out here. The people have good hearts, but they have no sense of etiquette. They will eat their food on the streets and sip their tea in front of you. One should take their meals behind closed doors with family or friends. It would be nice if they would at least eat behind a partition of some sort and spare the rest of us the sight. I would say that the people from the Enclave are more elegant than us. Never seen one with the hair out of place or in clothes that have not been neatly pressed. They place great importance on rules, manners, and fashion over there. Yes, I suppose you could say I am from the Enclave, though I have lived here for most of my life. When I was young, my family and I fled to this village we might escape Imperial troops. What? You would like for me to demonstrate the difference in dining habits? I am afraid that is not something I can help you with. Anne, have you finally decided on what you'll be making? I'll be building the entire restaurant from the ground up. A wooden shield to protect the food from, well, you know. Ornate partitions that can be hung between each of the tables. That sounds more like it. Partitions? But that seems so dull. That's not what you're really thinking to make, is it? Wait, you're not trying to lose on purpose, are you? While I know I'm not yet as good as you, never did I think that you saw me as so far beneath you that you would feel the need to do this. Listen, Semi, here's the deal. My apologies. It seems I jumped to conclusions again. I know you're not the type of person to do something like that. It's no excuse, but lately I've been on edge. I can't shake the feeling this is my last chance to convince Timbermaster Beaton that I am a capable carpenter worthy of being called as such. If I don't, he might stop assigning me work, and I may as well leave the guild. I shall not let it come to that. No matter what it takes, I must find a way to prove myself. Oh, I completely forgot. I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to blabber on about my worries. After all, you're here for materials, aren't you? Here you are. Feel free to come back if it's not enough. Ornate partition. Okay. Opening up a restaurant has always been a dream of mine. To think that it might soon be within my grasp fills me with joy beyond belief. Here's a partition. What have we here? May I? Timber Master Beaton! This table is exquisite. It is extremely sturdy, yet manages to maintain a sleek elegance. And these dolmen-style engravings that run up and down the sides of the legs, if I did not know better, I would guess they were the work of a more practiced pair of hands than your own, Semi. Yay, he likes it. Now, Anne, let us see yours. Ah, simple, but all the more stunning for it. The lacquer finish is a nice touch. A light gloss that is just enough to enhance the natural blush of the wood, but not overpower it. While both of these are masterpieces in their own right, I will say this. The detailed engravings on the table are something even a highly skilled artisan would struggle to recreate. What do you think, sir? The moment I saw it, I knew which one of these I wanted, desperately needed even. I choose... Take both of them, come on. This one. That Anne is a better carpenter than me, I won't deny. That she has skills I could only ever dream of attaining, I also admit. But I poured my heart and soul into that table. Sir, why is it that you chose Anne's partitions over Semi's table? Simple, really. Doman city folk are a private sort. They would appreciate the way these wooden barriers would hide them from sight as they eat. The young lady's table is magnificent, a work of art even. However, it does not fulfill the needs of my customers like these partitions do. It seems the time it took to carve the intricate detailing on this table would have been better spent interviewing the local citizens. Semi, do you understand now why it is you lost? You were so focused on demonstrating your own skill that you disregarded the needs of the client. That sounds like a popular theme in some of these storylines, doesn't it? Anne, on the other hand, spoke with the residents of this village, which inspired her to create these partitions, a product that places the customer's needs above all else. In that sense, the difference between your table and her partitions is the difference between a decent carpenter and a master of the craft. That said, this is where your journey ends. I expect to see the both of you back in Gridania shortly after I return. No, it can't be. Please tell me Timber Master Beaton hasn't given up on me. Oh, what am I to do? Is your friend all right? While I cannot claim to understand what any of that was about, I would like to thank you for your wonderful contribution. It is sure to suit my restaurant perfectly. That is a beautiful looking handsaw, too, that we have from that last quest we did for Carpenter. Love the look of that. Yeah. Yeah, I love that inlaid blue on that. Alright, return to the Carpenters Guild. Timber Master Beaton, thank the matron you've returned. The drawers of this desk you made for me are broken. Is there a chance they can be fixed? I shall see what can be done. After all, I can hardly say no to someone who has so cherished one of my creations as you have. Timbermaster Beaton, sir, my son. He's just been accepted into the Order of the Twin Adder. To celebrate, I'd like to have you craft him a fine spear. Order of the Twin Adder. That is quite the accomplishment. Very well. I shall make him a one that will see him through all his battles. Wait, sir. Come back. I also had a request for him, but I suppose it'll have to wait. I should have known getting the finest carpenter in all of Gridania to make something for you wasn't going to be an easy task. Excuse me, if you don't mind my asking, why is it that all of you like Timbermaster Beaton so much? When you ask him to make something, he creates that item for you and you alone. To make something for that person and that person alone. Thinking back, that's how I first got into carpentry. I was born into a family poorer than dirt, one where we couldn't afford to purchase even the most basic of furniture. My mother raised us by herself, working from dawn until dusk so that my sisters and I wouldn't go to bed hungry every night. As a result, she pushed herself too hard, and one day the pain in her back became too much to bear. Seeing her suffering drove me to make her an armchair in which she could rest from time to time. It was all the young me could think to do. While the finished product creaked and buckled under her weight, not for a single moment as I was making it did I lose sight of the fact that I was doing it all for her. I've been so preoccupied with myself, with trying to prove my skills, that somewhere along the way I forgot the most important thing. It is never too late to remember and begin anew. Semi, the key to harnessing your own potential is to recognize what is holding you back. From here, you can only grow. Yes. Yes, sir, you are absolutely right. There is still hope for me. And thank you for supporting me until now. It is only because of you that I have come this far. In fact, I'd go so far as to say that our grand adventures together have made me feel as though I've been born again. I am looking forward to exploring the world of carpentry once more. She is not the only one who owes you a debt of gratitude. While I am skilled at working with wood, I am not nearly so adept at dealing with people and their problems. You have helped Semi in ways I could not. You are part of the reason I have such high hopes for the girl. With a mentor like you to look up to, she will no doubt flourish. That is why I ask that you speak with her one last time before you leave. And you'll be happy to hear that Timbermaster Beaton has finally deemed my work good enough to begin taking on some of my own clients. Isn't it so exciting? That's not to say I'll forget about my studies or the guild's troubles, however. In between commissions, I'll be spending my time practicing how to make oriental furniture. That way, I can retain all that I learned from our trips to Kugane and Namai. But that's not all. I'll be keeping the people we met there in mind. They'll help me to remember that I am making this furniture not for myself, but for those around me. You'll see, Anne, I'm going to work so hard that one day I'll be as good as you. I'm sure you will, Semi. Can I, equip my weaver's tool? Yeah, I did, I guess. Alright. Anyways, back to carpenter here. Tea party rules. And there you are. I was beginning to wonder when you'd show up. Timbermaster Beaton says he has some clients he wants to introduce to us. Well, don't just stand there. Let's go. You are here. Good. Gerhard, you remember Anne. Remember? Ha! I could hardly forget. It would be no exaggeration to say that I owe this woman my life. In fact, the reason I'm here is related to the time Anne saved us. By the bow she brought, I was able to drive out the XIV forces that threatened us. Our victory against them has bolstered our unit's reputation, and we have been receiving new recruits by the dozens since. In our latest batch, we received a mixture of eager Alamegans and Gridanians. If you do not yet see the problem, allow me to explain. There have always been certain racial tensions between the refugees and locals. I thought holding a tea party might ease the unease between them. I was wrong. Now they seem to have an even greater aversion to one another. There you have it. I suggest you begin by speaking with Gerhard's recruits to see what exactly went wrong. If we can pinpoint the cause of their feud, it will make it that much easier for us to solve the problem. Yes, sir, you can count on me. Anne, would you mind accompanying Semi? Mind you, this is an official request. It would not do to send someone who has yet to complete basic training to carry out this task alone. So, it'll be the two of you then? Good. Now, I imagine most of my new recruits will be at and around the Adder's Nest. You should have no trouble finding them. Once you have finished, see that you report back to me. Yes, sir. If you're here to talk with the captain, you're here to speak with me? Why don't we like them? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? Every time we try to reach out to them, how are we repaid? With hostility. Take the tea party Captain Gerhard arranged for us, for example. We attended hoping to turn over a new leaf. They, however, clearly came for different reasons entirely because the moment we sat down, they served us Alamegan tea. It seems they have gone from refusing to accept our culture to openly spurning it. My apologies, but I would like to leave it at that, lest anger get the best of me. If you wish to know more, however, perhaps you should try speaking with one of Alamegan recruits. In the next zone. Hey, there's Semi, checking things out by the zone here. What are you looking at? Is there something you need? If not, I suggest you move along. Those questions sound an awful lot like the ones Captain Gerhard asked us yesterday. Is he the one that put you up to this? Every day we Alamegans bleed and fight and die to protect this country, and yet the Gridanians still regard us with the same suspicion and resentment that they do beastmen. Even so, we decided that the tea party Captain Gerhard arranged was a good chance for us to establish some common ground with them and find a way to lay aside some of our differences. We thought serving Alamegan tea would be a good way to break the ice, but no, our kind gesture was met only with disdainful stares. Well, no longer will we be made to feel worthless by the Gridanians. From now on, we'll have nothing to do with them. Okay. I see you have spoken with some of Gerhard's newest recruits. Do you have any ideas on how we might put an end to their feud? A striking dummy should do the trick. A Far Eastern style tea party should end the bickering. A matching set of furniture should bring them together. I'm not sure which one we needed there. Would you be happy to learn you have the same set of furniture as someone you greatly dislike? Of course not. In fact, you might even take an axe to it. Okay, then it must be a Far Eastern style tea party that should end the bickering. A Far Eastern themed tea party. That just might work. No one would feel as though they are being snubbed, and the interesting setting might even provide them with a topic of conversation. You recall the tea house benches of Kugane, do you not? Very good. I suggest you craft one. Alright. I will do it here right before your very eyes then. Alright, check it out, Gerhard. Well, I can't see him, I guess, from that angle. There we go. That's ridiculous, the way they blind you like that. If there's a beam between you and your character, it prevents your character from seeing someone who's right in front of them. Success is only possible if each of the members of the squad completely trust one another. What's this? I've never seen anything like it. I just handed him a bench. Come on. What's this? I've never seen anything like it. Yeah, it's such a small bench, I guess. Hold it in the palm of your hand. You are looking at a tea house bench, the quality and make of which is identical to those crafted by the master carpenters of the Far East. Wow, how does anybody sit on this? Oh boy. Now, Semi, what have you made for us? Allow me to present you with this. This is the exact same thing and crafted. What led you to decide upon a tea house bench? After speaking with the initiates, I surmised that both sides had attended the tea party hoping to reconcile their differences. Given the right environment, I reckon they still can. So I thought, why not hold a Far Eastern style tea party? Not only would it provide them with a relaxed atmosphere, but it would give them a chance to bond over a culture that is different from their own. That you have begun taking the needs of the clients into consideration and in doing so came to the same conclusion as Anne is evidence that you have matured as a carpenter. Well done. Now, it is time to put your benches to the test. I would have the two of you take them to Apkalu Falls and set them up. Gerhard, gather your subordinates and Anne and Semi there. I will join you all shortly. Very well. Welcome, everyone. While I know our last tea party was by no means a rousing success, I appreciate how willing most of you were to give this idea a second chance. It seems some of you felt that certain cultures were disrespected at our last get-together. For that, I apologize. Regardless of where you are from, I value and respect every one of you, as you should each other, for we are brothers and sisters in arms, family, if you will. I hope that this gathering the craftsmen of the Carpenters Guild helped me organize will allow you to realize that. Now, for the fun part. Here, allow us to whip out some benches from our pocket here and put them on the ground. Ooh, who made the umbrellas, I wonder? What do you think, everyone? Before you is an exact replica of a tea house in Kugane. Kugane, as in the far eastern port city? Well, I suppose these decorations do have a certain exotic charm. A Kugane-style tea party, huh? Everything looks so elegant. These furnishings are almost as beautiful as those found here in Gridania. Carpentry is culture, and culture is ever present in our lives. One can learn a great deal about a people simply by looking at their furniture. Sitting here upon these benches has made me realize there are many magnificent things in this vast world. In my narrow-mindedness, I nearly missed out on them. We should have taken the time to learn more about you and where you are from. We eat meals together, we fight together, and yet because of our reluctance to speak with you, we know almost nothing about you. For that, we are sorry. No, it is we who must apologize. While many of us consider Gridania to be a second home, there is a lot about your culture that we have yet to fully grasp. Ha 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 ha. Let us raise our cups and give a toast to the start of a new and beautiful friendship. Have you all been enjoying yourselves? Yes, it's been a long time since I talked so much or laughed so hard. I thought we had absolutely nothing in common, but I was mistaken. Indeed, the more we speak, the more I come to realize how alike we are. I'm glad we finally found a way to put our differences aside. Good. Remember, on the battlefield, it matters not where you are from or where you were raised, only that you survive. For that, you will need to rely on each other. Never forget that. Well done, the both of you. While fulfilling the client's needs with great finesse is something I have come to expect of Anne, you surprised me, Semi. That you had the same idea as one of our guild's best artisans proves you are one step closer to becoming a full-fledged carpenter. Do not, however, mistake that to mean the items the two of you crafted are of comparable quality. Even to the untrained eye, one is far superior to the other. Quality, however, is not everything. Your client has walked away feeling completely satisfied, and that is a tremendous accomplishment. Semi, if you continue to work hard, perhaps someday you will come to be as good as this talented woman beside you. Thank you, sir. I shall remember this moment and continue honing my skills that they might one day rival Anne's. I nearly forgot. If I may be so bold as to ask, sir, what is to become of our guild? Will we recover from debt any time soon? I beg your pardon? What debt? What debt? So long as we continue to receive commissions from the Order of the Twin Adder, we need not want for capital. But sir, if not for the guild, why were you working yourself so hard? You wouldn't even stop to take meals. Yes. I was temporarily overcome by a desperate need to reconnect with the wood. To achieve this, I began living as though a tree would, taking in only sunlight and water. I really need to stop jumping to conclusions. Oh, and Anne, please allow me to thank you once again. While it was a misunderstanding on my part that led us to the Far East, I couldn't be happier with the result. I will be eternally grateful to you for seeing me through this journey and for all that you taught me. Though this particular adventure may be over, I have no doubts we will embark upon another together in the near future. Until then, I shall continue to practice and practice some more. When you next see me, I may nearly be as good as you. And your ability to inspire people never fails to astound me. It is in no small part thanks to you that Semi has grown as much as she has. Your talent and the love you hold for your craft is a rarity, even among the elite. I hope that you will continue to use both to serve men and women all across Eorzea. And we've got leather worker here. Number 72. Come to bask in the splendor of our Dalmal Mount, I see. Well, this is no time for gawping. Rather, it is time to resume our work. A pity we could not add a bear to our collection, but even alone, the Dalmal has garnered no small amount of attention. On more than one occasion, I've even seen people stopping to read the signboard I posted. I can't believe so many people are coming to see something I helped to create. The next mount will be even better. Outrageous! How dare this happen without my consent? So, this is why everyone has been crowding around the Leatherworkers Guild of late. What sort of sick, twisted joke is this? That's one of the hearers. What does he want with us? I assure you, sir, this is no joke. This mount was fashioned in an attempt to The elementals weep for this poor creature. How they cry out in anger. An affront to the Twelveswood if ever there was. To ignore it is to invite the green wrath upon us all. You three, are you responsible for this? By order of the Conjurers Guild, I demand you take down this grotesquerie at once. Take it down? But all of our hard work. The nerve of that man. It took every ounce of my being to hold my tongue. That close-minded fool. How can he not see the benefits of our work, the opportunity we offer Gridanians to learn about animals that live beyond the borders of the Twelveswood, and he dares to call himself a hearer? How he abuses his position that he might do as he pleases. The sight of him is enough to make my skin crawl. Excuse me. I got a little carried away there. Though it pains me to concede to such swine, we cannot deny the will of the elementals. I have no doubt one of your talents could quickly resolve the situation, but this requires a more civilized approach. Indeed, we must settle this in a manner as befitting naturalists. The Leatherworkers Guild is certain to have dealt with similar opposition in the past. Number 72, go and speak with Giva and see what advice she has to offer on the matter. Oh, Giva. The woman of the hour. With everyone stopping by to have a look at that mount outside, I knew it was only a matter of time before you came. What can I do for you? Did they now? You know, there was a time when leather goods were criticized as being extravagant and wasteful. It took a great deal of effort on the part of the leatherworkers here, but eventually opinions changed. They had to prove what they made was worth the cost of lives sacrificed in the process. Unless you can do the same with your mounts, you won't be convincing the hearers of anything. Actually, that gives me an idea. I'll need to prepare a few things first, though. In the meantime, I would have you attend to something else. We're going to need a Dalmal skin jacket, and I can think of none better than you to make it. Besides, it's been too long since I've seen your work. Randall will have everything you need at the front desk. When you've finished, I should have everything ready for the next step in my plan. Good to see you. I trust you've been keeping busy? Goodness knows we have with all these commissions we've received of late. But enough of my ramblings. As Guildmaster Giva tells it, you have much work to do. Here's the Dalmal leather as requested. If you should have need of more, pray, do not hesitate to ask. A dashing Dalmal skin jacket. How's that jacket coming along? I hope my faith in you after all this time hasn't been misplaced. You've impressed me, Anne. I was worried you might have forgotten what you learned here, but it's clear you've done quite the opposite. Well done. Excuse me, is Anne here? Miss Ataluna wants to speak with her. She says it's quite urgent. Right on time. Come here for a moment. I need you to try on this jacket. A jacket? What about Miss Ataluna? And who are you anyway? Wow, he's got gloves and a new jacket now. There we are. How's the fit? It's actually quite nice. I usually hate leather clothes, but they're so stiff when new. Because they're so stiff when new, but this is quite soft. It's fairly light and warm, too. I imagine whoever uses this will be grateful to have it. Oh, maybe it's not for him. It's time we move on to the next part of my plan. A leatherworkers exhibition with that jacket on display. But there's no time for an exhibition. We're busy enough as is fighting to keep our Dalmo mount. Which is precisely why you'll be putting them on display together. The mere mention of an exhibition will be enough to draw a sizable crowd. This will afford Atalune an opportunity to teach people about the endangered Dalmos of Abalathia. I've already reserved Miketo's amphitheater. All we need now are the mounts she would have on display. That's a great idea, miss. I'll go and inform her right away. Miss, he hasn't the slightest idea of who I am, does he? I suppose it can't be helped for now. Be sure to give Atalune my regards. Oh, number 72. If only you had come sooner. I left only for a moment, but in my absence, Marmaduke and his gaggle of goons made off with our mount. What came of your talks with Giva? I should hope some good may yet come of all our efforts. Instruction under the guise of a leatherworkers exhibition. Yes, that just might work. Giva has ever been one with an eye for opportunity. First, we must deal with Marmaduke and his attempts to deny the good people of Gridania an opportunity to enlighten themselves. Before our work was stolen, I took it upon myself to speak with an associate of mine, another hearer of the Conjurers Guild. When I broached the subject of our mount and the elemental's apparent dissatisfaction with using animal skins in such a fashion, he was completely and utterly bewildered. In truth, neither the hearers of the Conjurers Guild nor the Seedseers have expressed any opposition to our work. Marmaduke merely uses the elementals as an excuse to impose his ideals on others. Well, he is not the only one with influence here in Gridania. One way or another, we shall have a mount for our exhibition. All right, and let's go ahead and do that one. I have exhausted every resource at my disposal, but I could find neither hide nor hair of the Dalmo mount. I hoped it would not come to this, but we have no choice but to fashion a new mount. As a precautionary measure, I have already decided on our next specimen, the majestic Gagana. Those gargantuan birds in Agirabanya? I never realized they were endangered. I do not speak of the common Gagana. What we seek is the three-feathered Gagana. They are quite rare and sought for use in fine goods. Their population has dropped markedly over the years. Unfortunately, this means I must again put the two of you in harm's way. If it means having a mount for the exhibition, then we at least have to try. Gaganas live in the fringes, right? I'll go ahead to Castrum Oriens and see if anyone knows where to find them. See you there, Anne. I'm afraid we have a problem, Anne. I've spoken with everyone excuse me. I've spoken with everyone who would care to listen, but no one has seen a three-feathered Gagana here in quite some time. It's as Miss Ataluna said, the plumage of the three-feathered Gagana is, or rather was, highly sought for Garabanian finery. Before the calamity, when Dalamud slowly began its descent, they say the public grew panicked. Believing the world might come to an end, people began squandering their money on things they normally couldn't afford. Clothing made from the three-feathered Gagana was desired above all. Demand declined after the calamity, but it was too late. They never recovered from the overhunting. Miss Ataluna was counting on us to find one for the exhibition. I don't want to return to her empty-handed. Did anyone say why they're so valuable? Their feathers have a lustrous sheen unique to the three-feathered Gagana. Other than that, I bet most people couldn't tell the difference between... Wait, that's it! While it's true the three-feathered Gagana was valued for the sheen of its feathers, the greater distinction between it and other Gagana lies in the distribution of feathers on its body. Do you think if we found a normal Gagana you could change the arrangement of its feathers? It will be difficult with only books for reference, but I'm certain a leather worker of your caliber can do it. Then there's still hope for the exhibition. Miss Ataluna was lucky to find a leather worker like you to help us. But if we're going to make a convincing mount, we'll need a good mannequin. And I've never seen a Gagana in person before. Let's see if we can find some. I heard they nest around Virjala. Let's see. Just outside Ralger's reach, perhaps. I never realized the Gagana was such a beautiful and majestic bird. If it's all right with you, I'd like to observe them for just a while longer. I think I'm ready to head back. Our Gagana mount is going to be great. At least I hope it is. Can I ask you a question? I know Miss Ataluna means well and all, but Marmaduke was absolutely furious. If other people are just as angry, maybe we shouldn't be making another mount. What do you think? Everything will be fine. You're right. It's true we've had a few setbacks, but Miss Ataluna is counting on us. And if I'm going to be a real taxidermist someday, I have to do everything I can to make this one perfect. Let's head back to Gridania. She'll want to know what we have planned. At last you are returned, and with nary a scratch. Inyan has told me everything. A pity you were unable to find a true three-feathered Gagana. I knew sights of the bird had grown scarce over the years, but I never imagined the situation was so dire. Your plan is to recreate the three-feathered Gagana using the pelt of a normal one, is that right? This is no small task you place upon yourself. With the exhibition fast approaching, we can afford no mistakes. If all goes as planned, this will be your final task for me. All the more reason I shall accept nothing short of perfection. Though I loathe being made to wait, I will make an exception for this. Handle the pelt with care and do not give it to 71 until you are absolutely satisfied with your work. If anything should happen to it, inform me immediately that I might procure another. Let's make a large Gagana cape then. Have you finished yet? I just know this Gagana is going to look great. This is incredible. It's the spitting image of a three-feathered Gagana. I can already picture the looks on people's faces when they see my mannequin dressed with this. It's going to be our finest mount yet. The placement of plumage on this pelt is immaculate. Well done, number 72. Now, I must be off to the amphitheater. I have posted flyers all about Gridania to ensure our desired audience is in attendance. Everything must be ready for his arrival. Be careful with that pelt, number 72, and remember, nothing less than perfection will suffice. There it is. I was hoping people would be excited to see our mount up there, but they actually seem kind of mad. We worked so hard on it, though. I'm sure Miss Adelune can make them understand. Just when I had thought Gridania had reclaimed some modicum of decency, you will suspend this farce of an exhibition at once. Silence! I will hear no more of your fabricated tales of the elementals. Huh? Our work is not a mockery of these animals, but a tribute to their majesty. If you would cease your blustering for only a moment, I will explain to you, and the good people here in attendance, why. Thank you for gathering here today. I wish to speak with you regarding a matter of grave concern, one often overlooked in the hustle and bustle of our lives here in Gridania. To start, I would have you consider this, the three-feathered Gagana, a rare breed highly valued by the people of Giribania. Before the calamity, as Dalamud began its bodeful descent, demand for this bird's plumage would see its population drop substantially. Its natural habitat has undergone drastic change since then. So much so, some believe there may be none left. The Dalmal, which once stood outside the Leatherworkers Guild, represented a species that also struggles with a declining population. As the environment continues to undergo radical changes, these innocent creatures and countless others will be pushed to the brink of extinction. We obviously cannot bend the laws of nature to return the world to what it once was, but we can still do our part to preserve their homes and what few of them remain. We must also show restraint in our hunting, lest their peers become endangered as well. Take, for example, this jacket crafted from Dalmal hide. Demand for its leather has grown noticeably of late. What do you suppose will happen as more hunters are drawn to the Sea of Clouds? Seeing only the products born of their hides, it is far too easy to forget the sacrifice of these animals. We must protect them as we do the balance of life here in the Twelveswood. To do otherwise would be a grievous squandering of resources. You're one to talk. What is this display other than a waste of skin? You claim it has an educational purpose, but one could simply read a book. And you have read such a book? I should hope you have, and that you are highly knowledgeable as a result, given that you wear clothing made from their hides. Well, What about you? Do you know anything of Dalmals or Kaganas? These people have a right to know what is happening to the world outside of Gridania, to know the cost of the goods they would otherwise take for granted. Hearer Marmaduke, perhaps now you would be willing to consider the merit of Ataluna's work? These mounts are not meant to offend anyone. They are a lasting reminder of the lives sacrificed for the clothing on our backs, and a tool to arouse interest in the study of animals so many would otherwise ignore. You might think these specimens a grim reflection of their living counterparts, but they preserve a truth that mere words cannot express. Surely you understand the virtue in that. More than you realize. For it is my duty, nay, my privilege, to hearken to the elementals and bear witness to such truths, that we might maintain the delicate balance of life here in the Shroud. I see now you only wish to share with these people knowledge I have long taken for granted. I would ask your forgiveness for my recent wrongdoings. The Twelveswood suffered greatly in the calamity, and in the years since, it has only grown weaker. The sight of your mounts was more than I could bear. But through the sacrifice of these few, countless more may be saved. If your creations serve to bring these good people wisdom and instill in them a greater respect for the blessed creatures of this land, then I will condemn them no longer. Then I will carry on, for it is my duty to illuminate the dark with the light of knowledge. Before I continue, I must first give thanks to the two skilled artisans who made this possible, my darling assistants, the aspiring taxidermist who pieced together this splendid Gagana mount, and the gifted leather worker who prepared both the jacket and Gagana's pelt. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Somter Boy, for the follow. We appreciate that. How are you doing today? It has been far too long since I lectured before an audience so large. I hope I didn't bore them. Doing great. Well, that's good to hear. I hope you are enjoying your day so far. Lots of homework, though. Yeah, heard that. Let's see, should be, I guess it's getting on towards the end of the semester or quarter or whatever measurement your school is using there. You were perfect, Miss Ataluna. They were hanging on your every word. And did you see how everyone was admiring the Gagana mount? Today was a great day. Yeah, getting close to ending. Yeah, for sure. Well, will you be taking a break during the summer then, perhaps? Indeed it was. A great many people learned a valuable lesson, thanks in no small part to the two of you. And with that, I do believe my work here is done. Inyan, Anne, you have my sincerest thanks. Most likely going to take a summer job. Yeah, understood that. It'd be a good way to spend some time and make some money there too. Good. If you don't mind my asking, what are you studying? Are you like majoring in anything or just general studies at this point? Oh, how long have I been playing Final Fantasy XIV? Since about, I guess it's been over 10 years now. I started towards the end of 2012, I think. Maybe it was before that. No, it'd been right around 2012, I guess. I briefly played 1.0, the original, but I gave up on that after about a week, I guess. I didn't really enjoy it that much. But then, I guess years later, after they redid it, and it became 2.0 or Realm Reborn, I've been playing pretty steadily ever since that. So off and on, though. Sometimes I'll take a break for half a year or even a year or so until the next patch or the next release comes out. But yeah, I've been at it for quite a while. Been playing a lot of characters, leveling them up, and just enjoying the gameplay more than anything. This time, however, what I did was, here, let me pull up a bigger picture here for the moment. Yeah, what I've decided I would do this time is just go ahead and not skip anything, because for past years, after first playing through the game, I would just skip through everything while I played through. So this time I thought I would do a stream where we play through everything and just don't skip anything. We're doing the job quest, the crafting and gathering quests, which we're working on right now. And we're going to make our way all the way up through however far the game has progressed by the time I get to the end of it here. So it's just something I do several days each week. So happy to have you here. Thanks for joining us here. Yeah, I have made multiple characters. I've got characters on, I guess, every data center, leveled up to 90 at this point. My feeling was that I would have at least one level 90 character with full crafting and gathering done on each data center. So at the very least, I could hop on and help other people if they wanted to, or be able to participate in something no matter which server or data center is having some kind of function or whatever. Yeah, some people call it crazy, but I enjoy it. Now, keep in mind, I don't do all of the end game stuff that a lot of people do. I don't spend a lot of time focusing on doing raids and running the savage content or even the extreme content. That's just not of interest to me for the most part. Basically, due to my reflexes, I think I don't have the best reflexes around, but it's just not enjoyable for me to try to focus on that kind of content. So I just focus on the main story and the crafting and gathering for the most part, and some of the fun storylines that pop up within the patches as well, like Hildebrand and those sorts of things. yeah, I mean, I'm happy if it can be inspiring. Of course, you do what you feel comfortable doing, and if you get back into the game, great. I'd love to hear about your experiences as well. If you have anything you like about the game, what sorts of things you enjoy doing, what you've thought about playing perhaps different jobs and the like, anything like that. Any comments are welcome here. That's our main purpose, is to sit here and chat with folks while we just make our way through the game here together. But yeah, thanks for dropping in with us here today, Somter Boy, and I appreciate the follow. I'll get back to the quest here. You mainly focus on doing savage raids with your friends. Yeah, that takes a lot of work. At least a lot of concentration and figuring out exactly what you got to do there. And that's hard for me, I think. I mean, I haven't tried one in recent years, but I think that would take a lot of effort on my part for sure. More than I would want to devote to doing that part of the game. But I certainly admire that. Certainly admire anyone who can focus and get that done. Come now, you two. When my assistants are deserving of praise, I will not hesitate to give up. Oh yeah, there have been lots of tough times. Yeah, the challenges is certainly the thing. I can only imagine the feeling you must get when you successfully overcome that challenge too. That has to feel really good to know you all have worked so hard and gotten through the raid and succeeded in that. Even I have to admit that Gagana Mount was quite impressive. It's not often the amphitheater draws a crowd like that. Between that and the lecture, I'd say the exhibition was a resounding success. Yeah, the feel of accomplishment. Definitely. I certainly hear that. I feel the same way, I guess, when I do even, smaller things like this too. Some of the single person duties throughout the game, those glowing event points that you click on, and then you do some of those can be a little challenging too. So if I'm able to finish one of those in a normal mode and don't have to fail it and do very easy mode, I feel pretty happy about it. Thanks for the compliment, but building the mannequin was the easy part. Anne's the one who made the incredible cape to dress it. She's been like a big sister looking out for me every step of the way. Yeah, the little things. It's good to appreciate the little things. I agree with you there. Now that we've finished though, I think I'll stay in Gridania a while longer. There's still a lot I need to learn about leatherworking, and I have plenty left to share about making animal mounts. Well, well, looks like I have a new recruit. Don't think I'll go easy on you just because you're a friend of Anne's either. Rather the contrary. Wait, you're the guildmaster? I thought you were just a friend of hers. I admit I was doubtful of your abilities as a leatherworker, but I am grateful to have been proven wrong. Thanks to you, we have touched the hearts and minds of a good many people here in Gridania. But this is only the beginning. When I publish the results of our work here, all corners of the realm shall know of the great naturalist Atalune. Indeed, the shining star that is my career has only begun to shine. During all the previous playthroughs? No, I mean, the first time I play a new part of the story, I should say, I don't skip it. I'll play through it regular, but it's been many, many years, typically, since I've played like A Realm Reborn. After my first playthrough or so, I just don't bother watching all the stuff for the main story or anything. I'll just skip through everything. But yeah, I do watch it at least once initially. And then after that, I've just been skipping through just to level up the different characters and get them on the different data centers and everything. So yeah, I've seen the story before, but just don't remember a lot of it. That's why I wanted to take this opportunity on my live stream and just go ahead and play through another unskipped one so that I could try to remember some of the smaller things that perhaps I've forgotten about over the years in these various stories. Did I not tell you? Not long after I finished my lecture at the amphitheater, reservations for the next publication of New Eorzea Geographic began to pour in. What's more, Hearer Marmaduke plans to speak with the Elder Seedseer to have my publication instated as a reference work for the Seedseers Council. I left Marset to manage the better part of my research and writings, but this will require nothing short of my undivided attention. My work must be thorough and comprehensive. I foresee much traveling as well. Yes, across the whole of Eorzea and then the world. Perhaps we will meet again on a distant shore. Should that day come, I would be honored to receive your assistance once more. And there we go. Finished leather worker through Stormblood now. And we are coming to the end of our streaming time today. Let's see, we still have Goldsmith, Alchemist, and Culinarian to do yet. So what I'll do is I'll just pop on over to Goldsmith and get started on that one. Let's see, we might be able to do a little bit more here. But yeah, and let's see, I won't be able to play Final Fantasy XIV Tuesday morning. I'll be off tomorrow on Monday. But Tuesday, they're having maintenance, which, as it turns out, is going to be taking place during the time that I would normally stream here. So I'll be playing a different game. I'll probably be just doing another episode of Infinite Undiscovery on a Tuesday. Yeah, I usually play Infinite Undiscovery on Wednesday and Friday here, but I may change that, so I'll do it on Tuesday instead, and maybe do Final Fantasy on Wednesday. Just kind of switch the days around. The Perfect Tribute. Schoolmaster, I trust you have been keeping well. It pleases me to say that our apprentices are making sound progress. Such is their dedication, they've even formed a study group of their own volition. Pray, excuse me a moment. Ah, Master Marcel, good morrow to you. Truly, we are in your debt. You will recall that I have been looking for willing outlets for our apprentices' handiwork. To that end, I sent some samples to Master Marcel to present to merchants. Well, that was Master Marcel reporting on the results, and it seems the samples were very well received. No few outlets have expressed their interest, with some willing to stock our wares on a trial basis. Never heard of that game? Yeah, that was an Xbox-only game back in 2008. It's made by the same people who made Star Ocean and Valkyrie Profile series, a Tri-Ace, and it plays a lot like Star Ocean. I played through a normal mode playthrough on Infinite Undiscovery earlier this year, and then when I finished that, I started a hard mode playthrough where we are going for the compulsive achievement, which is obtaining at least one of every item in the game. And there's an Xbox achievement for that. That's what I'm going for on this playthrough. Type of genre is it? It's RPG, just like very similar to Star Ocean. I mean, you've got the same kinds of mechanics involved with that game as far as the battle system's concerned. Well, thank you. Yeah, and we're going to see if we can complete the compulsive. It has eluded me in the past, but I've got a checklist and we're going through it, and we're getting, I think we're about towards the end of all the farming we have to do in the end game for that one. We're doing some crafting now to craft the items that we can only obtain through crafting now, and slowly working our way through the list. And with any luck, by the time we finish the final boss battle in the post-story dungeon, which is again the Seraphic Gate, which is what's used in both Star Ocean and Valkyrie Profile for their post-story dungeons as well. When we finish that one, with any luck, we'll pop that compulsive achievement and be happy. And at that point, it's my plan to at least start a infinity mode playthrough, which is super difficult to get started. Really hard. I mean, it's just difficult, but I'm going to try it anyways if I can get this compulsive achievement. If for some reason I fail the compulsive achievement, I think I'll just kind of drop that one for now, and we'll move on to a different game for alternate days here. Though it's low volume still, orders have already come in, and Master Marcel asks that the apprentices come to Esthames for a meeting with the clients. To reach this stage in so short a time is a tremendous achievement, and they may rightly feel proud. Oh yeah, there's a good chance I'll do it. It's looking like I'm on track to get everything done. The hardest part, of course, is just making sure that you don't miss any items that are truly missable. And so far I've gotten them all marked off in a timely fashion, so I think I've not missed anything that is like once in a that you only have one chance to get. So I think I'm doing okay on the playthrough. We should be able to get that compulsive achievement, but you know, if we don't, I can try another time. Speaking of the apprentices, they shall be glad for the tidings. Mayhap the schoolmaster would care to be the bearer? There is no denying the news would be sweeter coming from you, Anne. Might I trouble you to tell them? Oh, how long does it usually take to earn the achievement? Well, it's the farming involved for all the items, really, that takes the most time. I would say that it's probably somewhere close to 60 or 70 hours of game time. I just crossed 40 hours of game time in my last stream, I believe, for that game, which is also an achievement, oddly enough. If once you've been in the game 40 hours, that's another achievement that pops for the Xbox there too. But yeah, I seem to recall it should be, from what I've read anyways, it should be right about 60-ish hours, 60 to 70 hours thereabouts it will take. So we've still got a little bit of farming to do. We've gone through almost all of the Seraphic Gate now. We went right up to the last level in the Seraphic Gate and defeated everything we needed to defeat, collected everything we needed to collect, and just have a few items we've got to farm in there for some upgrades for our stuff. And then we've got to get through the last level of the Seraphic Gate, which really won't take too long at all. You know, maybe 30 to 40 minutes or so. But getting all the stuff crafted takes a lot of time. And then it should take right around 60 to 70 hours, I figure, will be the total time invested in that one. You will find them gathered by Chakra Falls to the north, engaging in some furtive enterprise, if I might add. All right, well, I will go check on them. Oh, okay. Well, have a great rest of your day there, Somter Boy. Thank you so much for dropping in and following us. I hope to see you again another day. Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Take care of yourself. All right. Yeah, see you too. Hope you have fun, even though I know you're having to study, but try to find some time to have fun too. Schoolmaster Adventurer, what are you doing? I mean, what can we do for you? What? Did I hear you right? And you just told us we've received real orders from real clients? Huh. And there I thought we was years away from making sellable stuff. It's all thanks to you and Miss Emila. We'll put out our best work and make you proud. You'll see. So you're probably wondering why we're gathered like this and talking secret talk. You see, we want to do something to show our gratitude to the Sultana for granting us this opportunity to become goldsmiths and contribute to Alamigo's future. Aye, she even sacrificed her mother's crown. And seeing as our wares are now fit for the market, it's time we repaid her kindness. Problem is, we can't decide how to go about it, what to give her. We was thinking maybe we could use the crown's remaining gems to make something, but beyond that... Oh, I have an idea. The meeting with the clients will take place at Esthames and Master Marcel will be on hand, am I right? Well, if anyone knows a suitable tribute, it would be him, so perhaps we could consult him on it while we're there, and it would give us heart if you were present as well. Yeah, what she said. We'd feel a lot better having you with us. Anyway, we'd best be off. Come on, you two, we've got some orders to receive. Alright, speak with Marcel and Ul'dah. Adventurer, I am pleased to report that the meeting went smoothly and the clients left feeling confident. Now then, your apprentices say you have a consultation for me? Oh, a tribute for the Sultana, and one which makes use of the gems from her Lady Mother's crown. An inspired idea. Alas, I have none of mine own to offer. Not likely is coming to mind. As I'm sure you will appreciate, I am honor-bound to protect my patron's confidentiality, but it should not infringe upon my code of conduct to share with you such rumors as are commonly heard in town. If the whispers are to be believed, a maiden who shares an uncanny resemblance to the Sultana has been observed frequenting a certain shop. If the maiden in question is in fact her grace, it may well be that something has taken her fancy, and that something may offer an answer to your question. You've seen the Sultana in disguise on a number of occasions, I believe. You ought to be able to recognize her easily enough. Well, this all sounds promising, and it just so happens Hal and Guido are at Sapphire Avenue Exchange, so I'll fetch them and we'll investigate the rumor together. Once we've got a name for the shop, we'll lie in wait for the Sultana, and we'll need you to be on hand to identify her. See you in a bit, Schoolmaster, and thank you for your kind help, Master Marcel. Schoolmaster, a short while ago there was a sighting of a maiden who looks not unlike her grace, accompanied by a person who looks not unlike an old man. It's second-hand information to be sure, but if it's true, it's not unlike a golden chance, and we just need to find out what this shop is that the Sultana visits. No time for supplies. We've got the Sultana to find. You'll be pleased to hear I've narrowed down the arms vendor. It's a place owned by one jealous juggernaut, which means the Sultana's favored shop's just across the way. Keep watch there long enough and she's bound to appear. Sorry for making you run around with us like this, Chief, but it won't take much longer, I promise. We've got good food, good info on the shop, what's mentioned in the rumors. It's a sundry goods store opposite an arms vendor, and there's only so many of those on Sapphire Avenue. Based on Guido and Hal's information, this is where the Sultana-esque maiden appears. Look! To come and see this orchestrion fairly every day. You truly are taken by it, Lady Lilira. Excuse me. Oh, it is perfect in all ways, save for its size. Would that it were small enough to fit in my bedchamber. Does an elegant and compact orchestrion not exist? Such an item would suit my lady very well indeed, but I fear it will prove elusive to find even in our great city. Schoolmaster, was that who I think it is? Yes, it was. And she desires an elegant and compact orchestrion. Iragot be praised! Now that we know what to make, we must back to Ralger's Reach so you can get to work right away, and needless to say, we'll be needing your help. Oh, we ought to say our thanks to Master Marcel again, but me and the others can take care of that, so please go on ahead. Back to Ralger's Reach. I'm hearing thunderstorms in Ralger's Reach. Our apprentices have told me all. They wish to present her grace with an elegant and compact orchestrion. 'Tis a fine choice for a tribute, and made finer still with the gems from her lady mother's crown. While large machines fashioned by carpenters are the norm, I believe it is well within the realm of possibility to produce a miniaturized version with our goldsmithing techniques. But by our techniques, I mean yours and mine, Schoolmaster. Though our apprentices have become capable enough to fill the odd order, they yet lack the skill needed to craft precision instruments, and orchestrions demand no small degree of precision. But seeing as they are determined, it falls to us to prepare them for the challenge. To that end, I have a mind to test them on a similarly complex apparatus, a tabletop chronometer. From past experience, rather than being taken by the hand, I believe our apprentices learn best by following your example, and so I would ask that you perform another demonstration. Pray, begin whenever you are ready, schoolmaster, and let Kanchana know if you have need of additional materials. All right. And I will make a sample chronometer. How fares the crafting effort, Anne? Both the apprentices and I eagerly await your finished chronometer. Here it is. This, schoolmaster, is absolutely flawless. My breath fairly caught in my throat. My expectations of you are high as a matter of course, but you manage to transcend them every time. Apprentices, you are not like to find a finer example of a chronometer. Study it well and reproduce it as best you can, and you shall acquire the requisite knowledge and techniques for making an orchestrion. We're supposed to reproduce that? Oh dear, my hands are starting to shake, but it's not out of dread, but the excitement of tackling the tasks. The more I learn goldsmithing, the more I'm made to appreciate the schoolmaster's brilliance and keenly feel how utterly unpolished I am next to her. You're like a god among goldsmiths, up in your own place in the heavens while we're bumbling down here on the ground, and though we may never get to where you are, we'll keep on climbing every mountain in the hopes that one day we will. Yeah, let's do it. 'Tis well that they are motivated, for this will be the steepest mountain yet. But when they have climbed it, they will be all the more prepared to climb all the others to come. CP. Collecting CP material. Made it to 70, and we'll pick up there next time. We're going to end the stream here today. We'll pick up with the level 70 goldsmithing quest next time, which will be on Wednesday now. Since Tuesday, Final Fantasy will be unavailable during the hours I normally stream here. So, no streaming tomorrow. We'll take tomorrow off. Then Tuesday, I'll do Infinite Undiscovery instead of Final Fantasy, since we won't be able to get into the game on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, instead of Infinite Undiscovery, we'll do Final Fantasy 14 and resume here, where we'll do our level 70 goldsmithing quest. We've got Alchemist level 68 and 70 quest to do, and then Culinarian level 68 and 70 quest to do, as well as finishing up the Armorer and Blacksmithing quest there. Just got to go report to the folks in Limsa, and those will be finished through 70 as well. Anyways, thanks for spending time with us today. I hope you have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you happen to be in the world today. And take care of yourselves, and we hope to see you again on Tuesday morning while we do our Infinite Undiscovery stream. Take care. Bye-bye.